Hello everyone and welcome to Top 5 Wednesday. The topic for this week is angsty romances, and I thought this would be a really easy topic to do because I realised that most YA romances in the world have a degree of angst to them, because YA books are obviously about teenagers, which is a time when everyone's feeling a little bit angsty, maybe dealing with conflicting emotions, or it's often a time for very intense, passionate first loves. But I didn't want to make a video entirely about YA books, so I have managed to incorporate two of my favourite classic angsty romances into this Top 5 Wednesday as well. So the first one I want to talk about is my favourite classic, and that is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. And this to me is the ultimate dark, intense, angsty romance about two people who are passionately in love, but everything in their world tells them that they shouldn't be together, and this just increases that passion tenfold. If you like your classic angsty romances and you haven't read Wuthering Heights, what are you doing with your life? You need to immerse yourself in this emotional, tragic love story in some format, because there are some pretty good film adaptations of this around as well. But yeah, this is the ultimate angsty romance for me. Another classic angsty romance is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This is another classic gothic Victorian angsty romance. That's pretty much what the Bronte sisters were known for writing. The relationship between Jane and Mr. Rochester is just so full of darkness and anger and uncertainty, intense passion, loads of ghosts from the past and things like that. And the way it unravels is just beautiful. So if you like your kind of coming of age, dark gothic love stories, then Jane Eyre is a great pick for you. Another slightly more modern angsty romance that I want to talk about is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is the first book in the Court series. This is a adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. I'm of course talking about the relationship between Feyre and Tamlin here. She really shouldn't fall in love with him because he is ultimately her captor, but she inadvertently does. I actually prefer the sequel, A Court of Mist and Fury, to this book. That's another kind of angsty, again very intense, passionate book, but we first see the kind of prickly, tension-filled romance here in this book. So yeah, this is another great angsty romance. Another very recently released angsty romance is Winter Song by S.J. Jones. I read and reviewed this book last month. Again, similar to A Court of Thorns and Roses, he is kind of her captor, she is the prisoner, but it's very dark, it's very haunting, it's very sexy, and yeah, very, very full of angst, full of intense emotion. So yeah, this is another recently released YA angsty romance. And the last book I want to talk about is perhaps not really what you would think of as an angsty romance, but it is full of angst and it's also full of romance, and that is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This is a very emotional, intense book about first love and coming of age and just realising who you are in the world. And I'd say it definitely passes as an angsty romance because the main character Charlie is dealing with multiple things while falling in love with one of his best friends, and it's just a beautiful, pretty short, very easy to get through but very intense piece of writing. So if you haven't read it, it's a YA contemporary that I very much recommend you do. And that is it for this week's Top 5 Wednesday. What are some of your favourite angsty romances? Please let me know. I will leave all of my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.